The San Antonio Spurs just finished shoot-around before Game 3 tonight at the Frost Bank Center in the Western Conference Finals against the Oklahoma City Thunder. The Spurs did fall in Game 2 on the road. The series is now tied at 1-1 with a crucial Game 3 tonight in San Antonio. The Spurs have a real chance to be able to get back control of the series, but on the injury front, De'Aaron Fox did not play Game 2 after being questionable for Game 1, and he missed. So let's see what his status is for tonight's game. And then Dylan Harper seemed like he got injured at the end of towards the end of Game 2. He did not return to the game. Right now, he is questionable, and he will be a game-time decision to see whether he can go. And in my opinion, the Spurs are going to need one of those two players because with the pressure that Oklahoma City plays, they put a lot of pressure on the ball handlers of the San Antonio Spurs, and you're going to need another guy because right now Castle has been initiating the offense, and he's been really good so far in the series, but over 2 games, he does have 20 turnovers, and so he needs a break. He needs to play more off the ball, so you need one of those guys to not only be able to initiate the offense, but to also to facilitate, get other players open shots, as well as be able to create their shot and in the lane and get to the free throw line. That's going to be the key. So the Spurs need to cut down on their turnovers. They need to play smart basketball. They need to foul less than they did in Game 2 because the Thunder were able to get to the free throw line more than they were able to get in Game 1. And then Victor Wembanyama, after playing mostly small players on him, they did play Hartenstein on him most of the time in Game 2, and Hartenstein seemed to bother Wemby, even though at times, at least 4 to 5 times on the NBC broadcast, they showed Hartenstein blatantly grabbing Victor Wembanyama's arm, whether he was trying to contest on a block shot or on offense. So let's see if the refs can tighten that up and tighten because the Thunder have been playing with a lot of physicality on him. So look for a combination of Hartenstein and Chet Holmgren to continue on Wemby. And for that, Wemby needs to really match the physicality and be aggressive back. Look for him to really try to get to the free throw line and be in constant attack mode because that's the best way how to negate pressure. And also, I feel like he's going to look for his own shot more, not only in the mid-range, but attacking the basket a lot more and shooting more threes because that will really open up the floor on the offensive side of the ball. For the Spurs on for defense, they did a pretty good job of containing SGA in Game 1. He was 7 of 23. But in Game 2, he was making more of his patented mid-range shots. So when he comes off the pick and roll, the Spurs are going to hard hedge and really double to get the ball out of his hands and force a guy like Caruso to really be able to replicate like a 31-point performance that he did in Game 1. And then with Jalen Williams being out, and we'll see whether he actually plays tonight or not. He's kind of questionable. But A.J. Mitchell should be able to hopefully, get that load, off of SGA, and he should be able to play tonight. But the Spurs want to shut off the water in the faucet, which is SGA, and force other players to beat them. And because they've done a pretty good job of the defensive side of the ball, taking Oklahoma City out of their game plan, the difference was that they just made more shots in Game 2 than they did in Game 1. But for the Spurs on offense, I would like to see a little bit sharper execution, more ball movement at times. I feel like they were going too much one-on-one. They were getting too static. They were relying too much on beating players off the dribble. Forces Oklahoma City defense to move, get off at the rebound, second chance opportunities, and try to get their wing defenders and inside players in foul trouble. If they can do that, then you really force Oklahoma City to use their depth a lot more than they want to. So I think the Spurs need to also make shots. Hopefully, the role players are going to play better at home than they did on the road. Players like Keldon Johnson, Julian Champagnie, etc., Harrison Barnes. You need some guys to be able to come along because the Thunder's focus is going to be on Victor Wembanyama. Should be a very close game tonight. We'll see what happens on the injury front with De'Aaron Fox and Dylan Harper, as well as with Jalen Williams on the Thunder. But I'm coming to you live from San Antonio, Texas, right after the Spurs shoot around. This is Shivam Patel signing off.